it seems to me, judging from our past conversations and others you've had, you're always going to be indebted to Zack. Zack Snyder's your
Totally,
guy.
man.
He changed your life.
Totally.
So is that partially why when we spoke about a year ago and I brought up the Snyder Cut, you're like, yeah, I need to see that?
Yeah, absolutely. But I have seen it, so.
I've seen
the Snyder Cut, so.
So what does that mean? Because the effects aren't done. Like you've seen his assemblage of footage and alternate takes, etc.
Oh, do you think Zack couldn't finish it? You don't think he?
I don't know. You tell me. He's finished.
I mean, listen, man. Next question.
Do you think we'll ever see it? Do you think the public will ever see it at this point? Because it seems like it's actually the groundswell has grown. And a year ago, I would have had my doubts.
You know, I'm obviously indebted to Warner's and DC, and you know, I don't know how they feel about it, but I mean, as a fan, I'm very, very happy that I got to see it.
Does it feel like a totally different movie than the Justice League that was released?
Yeah.
Okay.
Justice League is a very controversial film that we won't talk about, today. We are.
Why the special effects of Justice League is not so good?
Yeah, but that was because. So I did the principal photography with Zack, and we finished shooting. He started editing. We went to LA to do the color grade for the trailers. So the first three trailers of Justice League, they were all the things that we shot. And then they decided to reshoot. 7 months later, they did a reshoot, which was not that. I wasn't there, it was a completely different team. And they actually reshot, I think, 55 days. So the movie that's in the cinema, was in the cinema is like, maybe 10% is the stuff that we shot, everything else is a reshoot. So I don't know what Zack's. I know how he would look because when you watch the first three trailers, those are the ones that we made. So that's all of our stuff. So I know how he would look if it was a Zack Snyder cut. I don't know what the film would be like.
So today it is Zack Snyder's birthday. The guy that curated the Justice League that came out in 2017. Although we have never seen his finished work, his legacy is doing great compared to the current genre, the current run of the DCEU. Now, there's a lot of reporters and a lot of creators stating incorrect facts. I'm here to tell you the real facts. So, there's a lot of people saying that DC is going away from what Zack Snyder did. Are they really? Really? You sure? Okay, let's take Wonder Woman 1984, for example. Has Zack got anything to do with that? No, but the original Wonder Woman movie, him and his wife, Deborah Snyder, they worked on that. He cast her into the role. Okay, let's move forward. So Shazam comes out, and Shazam is a very good movie. Very good movie. It didn't do that good numbers in comparison, but if you take a look at the budget, okay, the budget for the movie was $100 million, and usually, talking to some marketing companies, usually between $50 to $100 million for marketing. So $200 million. So it was a cheap movie, so to speak, with marketing. Okay, worldwide, it made $365 million. You take away $200 million, that is $165 million. So that's cool. Did well, made profit. I mean, $1 million profit. I mean, personally, if you watching this video made $1 million profit per year, you'd be happy, wouldn't you? So, Shazam is set in the DCEU. Why? Well, because there's loads of BVS, remember, everywhere, the Batarang. The fact that we had the Justice League Superman turn up that looked just like Henry Cavill, except for you couldn't see who it is. So, that movie is definitely set in the Shazam DCEU. And a lot of people are saying we're out of it. We're not. Okay, let's fast forward to Birds of Prey. Recently came out, okay? And it is basically the death of Jared Leto's version of the Joker set post-Suicide Squad. You get what I'm saying? Still in the DCEU. This movie was pretty cheap as well. Budget $85 million. So you'd whack, say, at least $50 to $100 million on that. So let's say the total budget was $184 million. As of the time of recording this, it's currently turned over $179 million. which means it's technically not broken even yet. You get my drift. So this is 2 movies set post Justice League that both have massive connections to the DCEU. Then we get into Aquaman. Now, Aquaman is the most successful out of the bunch. Now, Aquaman and Amber Heard, who plays Mera, with both casted by Zack Snyder. Now, this movie really did make a lot of bang. So, it turned over $1.148 billion. Okay? Most of that's coming internationally, not domestically. So, still, you would whack a bunch of numbers onto that. So, it was pretty cheap. So, if you look at the numbers, it roughly made $500 to $600 million profit. Still, set post Justice League in the DCEU. So we've just literally shut down all these people saying that they're going in a different direction. And then we get to the Robert Pattinson 2021 Batman movie, which I can't wait for. It's going to be freaking awesome. Subscribe to the channel to never miss any of the videos. So that could be the first movie that's set outside of the DCEU. But then again, they do have iPhones in this movie, and we don't know what timeline it's set in, do we? So let's get into it. So, Zack Snyder put up a cryptic message yesterday. It was to do with a competition for a new Justice League poster. But there's many websites running with the story that additional photography teases the Snyder Cut is coming. As you guys know, I exclusively had a scoop. Well, it wasn't really a scoop. I was just telling you that I was told that Zack Snyder was in talks to finish his actual movie. As we know, it's being filmed, it's all there. They just need to add special effects, VFX, etc. to this movie. So as it reads, let's go over it. So it reads as the following. Something cool with Batman, Superman, Lois, or Martian Manhunter. However long it may take, it's awesome. Date to be announced. Now, this is a standard, I guess you could say, casting. It's like a, you know, the things in Hollywood where they snap to take a cut of a movie. I've got no idea what it's called. So it's one of them. But it's presumably something, or maybe not anything. Please extend to the bearer of the slate the right to pass all security protocols and the permission to operate this motion picture scene and sync marker on set of any additional photography for the motion picture known as Zack Snyder's Justice League. It is in the unlikely or purely speculative event that such photography is needed. You literally have to zoom in to read it properly. So what it's saying is that he could be trolling us, but the fact it says Zack Snyder's Justice League, originally it was just called The Justice League. So apparently this is going to say that Zack Snyder is going to be reshooting some additional scenes. Maybe. Now, I think this is interesting. As you know, guys, we've been following his back from 2017. We're not just getting on this train. We started the train. So from all the kind of information, we know that Martian Manhunter was originally meant to be in the film, although there's no evidence out there to suggest he actually did film scenes for this movie. Although we know there is so much evidence out there to suggest that Zack Snyder's movie would be one of the longest movies in history. So, as I told you guys a while ago, Warner Bros. Studios still wants Henry Cavill to be Man of Steel in Superman 2. So, there are reports out there suggesting that Warner Bros. Reported it. Now, guys, I'm going to shut you down, okay? Warner Brothers does not own Warner Brothers, okay? A mobile phone company called AT&T, a massive American telecoms I'm not American, so a massive company in America owns that. And according to the stats based on 2018, they have revenue of 170 billion, employ over 250,000 people. So it's a very big company. So can you guys and can you publications stop saying frickin' Warner Bros. Warner Bros. Are not in control of Warner Bros. That is why we are gonna release the Snyder Cut, okay? Because AT&T are in charge of the company. This ain't no Marvel shit. You know Marvel, right? Marvel do not let their own directors direct their movies, you know? It's controlled by the Marvel's manager. It's controlled by Kevin Feige, okay? Now, usually,